Hello friends, today we are going to learn string data type, which is most widely used data type in Java. If you want to master in Java, you should know string concept in depth. Part of this tutorial, we're going to cover these topics, how create a string. So we learn how many types, how many ways we can create a string pool or constant pool, and string intern method. So before I proceed and learn concept of string data type, let's evaluate our knowledge about string with a small coding exercise. We will check string equality. So there are two ways to check string equality. First is string using equals method, and another is using equals double equals operator. So first equals method. So using equals method, we compare values of two strings, and using double equals, we compare reference of two string. So if values are same, so equals method returns true, otherwise false. And if double equals, that is difference are same, then string will return true or false. So guess the output of this one. We're creating two string with same text as hello, and we're trying to compare equality with equals and double equals operator. Same with hello and world, two different strings. One hello with quotes and another one with the new operator, and the last one is one with the quotes and second one with the new operator but with intern method added. And these are the four scenarios where we will try to find the output of this. But before that, we will build our concept, and later we'll come back to this one. If you don't know about these outputs, don't worry about this one. We will build our concept, and that time you will be able to answer this. So there are two ways to create a string using literals and using new operator. So literals is what, when we create any string with the double quotes, we call it literals. And new operator, when we use new and we pass the string as an argument, we call it a new operator. And this is the another way of creating a string. There are other utility methods present in the string class like value of, but we are not going to discuss that in part of this tutorial. So we'll focus on these two ways to create the string. Yeah. So now what we're gonna do? We're gonna execute a small code, and from there we'll try to understand the concept. Okay. So guys, I've written a small code here. If you can see here, like I'm creating one string str1 with string literals with quotes, and another one with str2 with new operator hello. And to run this code, I am using Visual VM. So Visual VM is a profiler tool, so that tracks our memory, Java heap memory, and gives us detail about our objects and classes that is created in runtime, in Java runtime. So I'm gonna run this IntelliJ code with virtual Visual VM, and this integration is very easy. You can find several tutorials on this topic, like how to integrate Visual VM with IntelliJ. Okay, so with said that, I'm gonna run my virtual VM runner here. So while my virtual VM is coming up, I have added two more lines here. Line number 12 where I'm creating the instance of the same class, and line number 13 where I'm trying to execute this code in infinite loop. So why I'm doing line 12 and 13, I will explain in a little bit. Let my virtual Visual VM come up. Okay, since my Visual VM is come up, I go to monitor and take heap dump. So here you can see, let's go to classes, and here you can see that for string, there are 7,300 instances are created. That just small piece of code we are running and it's creating this many instances because it creates instance from the Java library like rd.jar and other packages that we load in order to run our small code. But among the 7,300 instances, we there are two instances that we have created also present there, but it's very difficult to find out in Visual VM. So that's the reason I created line number 12. So let me show you how I'll navigate from this instance to this instance. So here you can see the text field, we have hello here. So we go to string java lang.string instances. You can see here java lang.string and instances, and we can see there are two instances are created. So one from line number 8 and another one from line number 9. So what is the basic difference between these two way of creating a string? Because in both way it is creating a string instance, then which one is preferred? So now we can see here the first one when it was created, if you see the bottom here, there is an object array. So this instance is associated with an object array. So this is a very important concept in Java string data type, and that is called and uh, and that is called string pool or constant pool. So let's go back to Visual VM. So whenever we create any string with string literals, then it tries to find reference of that string in any string pool or constant pool. And if it is not present in that thread, so it creates a new constant pool or string pool. String pool is nothing but an array of objects. So this is what we can see here. But in the next instance that was created through the new operator, we don't see any string pool. So it is not associated with any string pool. So first one is associated with the string pool and second one is not associated with any string pool. That is the basic difference. But later we'll see how the string pool is helpful in in creating strings, in avoiding memory uses. We'll see it later. But now you are clear, right? Because here we are trying to create two ways of strings, and here in the memory we can see two instances of strings are created. I hope you understood this. Okay, now let me create another instance here. So I'm creating a third instance with the same value hello. So what happens? Let me run this. Again I'm running through the Visual VM. Let's go to monitor, take heap dump, go to classes. Okay, again we are in Java lang string instances, and here we see three instances of strings are created now. So one is hello, the first one created through string literals at line number 8, but another one 9 and 10 have created two more instances. So what we conclude from here? We can conclude like whenever we use new operator, regardless this string instance is created or not, it will create a new one. So this is very expensive way of creating a string. So we should this is always advised not to create a string with using new operator. So let's conclude what we learned so far. So we have seen that we created a string with new operator that always create a new instance in Java memory. It does not store or retrieve string reference from the string pool, so it is not associated with the string pool, and it's very expensive way to create a string. And because of it creates one string, one instance whenever we create a new string, it is not advisable. So I hope you understand the problem with creating a string using the new operator. Okay, now let's build our concept again. So let me comment this line and add one more line here. So let me run this one. So what do you think what will happen at line number 11? It will create a new instance like the way line number 10 had created a new instance with new operator. Will line number 11 will create also a new instance? Let's see in Visual VM. Yes, so now Visual VM is up, so we can go to monitor and take a new heap dump here, classes. Yeah, so we can say still there are two instances are created. So when we added the third line at line number 11, it did not create any new instance, unlike new operator. It created a new instance in our previous scenario. So what we can conclude from here? So let's go to PowerPoint. So what actually happened at line number 8 and what happened at line number 11? So we need to understand that. So when line number 8 was executed, at that time a new string pool was created, something like a new string, new object array, and then a new string object was created for value hello. And then at the first place this reference was stored. So this is what happened at line number 8. But when line number 10, 11 was executed, at that time it did not create any new string pool because already there was a pool created, and it tried to search for reference with value hello, and it found it at 0th place. So what happened, it returned the reference, and that reference was assigned to string 4, something like this, str1. So in this case it did not create any new instance, only the reference was assigned to str4, string 4. So now string 1 and string 4 both are pointing to the same string instance for hello value. So I hope you understand from what happened at string 4. Let's create another string. So this time we are creating a new string with world. So let me rerun this runner. Yes, so Visual VM is up now. So we go to monitor, heap dump. Yeah, so this time we can see a new string instance is created for world, the new for value world. So now another important concept about that we already spoke was string pool. So let me open that string pool. So now with new line, when we added a new line at line number 12, we can see there is one more element added to string pool. The second element. The first element it was hello, and the second element it was world. This one is world. So we can see that how string pool add a new instance which is created. So I hope you understand about the concept of string pool, like how it gets the data when string instance get added to that existing string pool. So let's summarize this. So I have drawn a flowchart. Let me open. Yeah. So basically this is what happening for string pool and the strings which we are creating with literals. So at first it checks whether string pool exists. If no, then it creates a new string pool, create a new string instance and store the reference in that string pool, and process ends here. If string pool exists, then it retrieves that string pool and then it checks whether a string with the same value exists or not. So something like here, world. It checks whether any string pool has any string instance with world value. So it doesn't find before line number 12. So what it does, it goes to this path, it doesn't find anything, no, then it creates a new string instance and store that reference in the string pool and process ends. And in case if it finds a string with that value in the string pool, something similar line number 11 where we have string hello. In that case what happens, the string reference of string, so it pulls that string reference and assign it to the new string and then process ends, something like this one. It pulls that reference and assign it to this string. So I hope you understand about this concept. So the last thing we gonna discuss in this tutorial about intern method. So let's discuss this part also. Let's create a new string. Okay, and let me comment. So now with this code we are trying to execute line number 8 and 13. So in 8 we are trying to create a new string with string literals hello, and in 13 we are trying to create a string with new operator, but we are calling intern method as well. Intern method. Let's see what happens with this method. So I'm trying to run Visual VM runner. Okay, so now we can see only one instance of hello created here, string created here. So what happened in line number 13, when we call intern method, is trying to pull that string instance from the string pool rather than creating a new instance. So this is same as like we've seen example of line number 11 where we're creating a different creating a new string with the same value with literals. The same thing here, what happened, like str6, it will pull the reference from the string pool and assign it to new string reference. So both will be pointing to the same string instance, str1 and str6. So I hope you understood like what is happening when we creating strings with literal, when we creating string with a new operator, and when we creating with new operator, but we are calling the intern method. So in these three different way of creating strings, first one is very much advisable because it always pulls data from the string pool. If a string pool has literals, then it will not create a new instance. And this one is the new is avoidable because it should not be created with the new operator, because every time we create a new instance regardless. And the third one is new operator, but we call intern method, exactly same as like creating a string with the literals. So this is the best way to create a string in Java. And now we'll get back to the questions from where we started. So equality of a string, if you remember, like in the beginning of our tutorial we had gone through like these questions, like what would be the output of in these cases. So this I will cover in the next tutorial. So that would, so we'll continue this tutorial, but I'll create a new tutorial for that, new video tutorial for that, and we'll explain one by one about how the output will look like and why this output will be different in case of equals and difference operator. So till then, you just go through this and let me know if you have any comments, and please like this tutorial and put your comments and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.